Hello and welcome to SPS Spotlight. And first I'd like to wish a very happy new year to all of our Springfield Public Schools students, families, staff, and faculty. My name is Azell Cavaan. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for Springfield Public Schools, and I am so excited about our show today because we get to talk about one of my favorite things, food. And we are joined today by Andrew Stratton. Andrew, thank you for being with us today. Andrew is the person who is in charge of helping to seek out and make sure that we get the best quality products that we put into our food and our meals that are served to 26,000 Springfield Public School students every single day in every school across the district. And actually not only Springfield Public Schools, because you service all of Springfield, right?
Yes,
so charter schools,
yeah.
Right, so of course we're going to focus on Springfield Public Schools, but everything that we talk about today is true for all Springfield schools, all students in Springfield schools across the city. So we have been talking very much about the CNC, the Springfield Culinary and Nutrition Center, which is a huge building that was built and the ribbon cutting was held at the beginning of this school year, all with the purpose of bringing more fresh, homegrown food to Springfield Public students that are prepared by real people with their real hands and less packaged, processed foods. That was really the goal behind the CNC.
Yes.
And so now we have a program called Homegrown Springfield, where students get fresh food every single day. Most of the food, a lot of the food is locally produced. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. So one of the real strong initiatives is the Farm to School program, which basically means that fresh fruits and vegetables from farms quickly end up in our schools. So let's talk a little bit about that. What is that?
Farm to School is a national movement to bring more fresh farm-raised products to schools and the students in the schools. And we're trying to bring as much as possible from apples from Feeding Hills to flash frozen vegetables from Hadley to blueberries from Maine and things like that.
So let me ask you, when you say flash frozen, what does that mean? How is it still fresh vegetables
so in
and
the
fruits?
fall, broccoli, carrots, potatoes are grown, harvested, and at the Western Mass Processing Center, they process it, cut it, flash freeze it, and then package it. So we're going to be serving them in January. So we're going to have fresh local carrots and broccoli in January at all the schools.
So the same way that we may have a frozen package of corn in our freezers, at the CNC there are frozen packages of vegetables where the vegetables have actually come from local farms.
Yes.
So they were picked when they were at their peak and frozen at that time so that they're still really delicious by the time the kids get them.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about what we have in front of us. Is this actually what kids are getting every day in school?
Yes, we're packaging some salads and sandwiches, as you see here. We are trying to increase vegetarian options, and we have 2 different types of hummus.
So let's see, these are the lunch selections that a student would have every day.
Yes.
In a school. And so if they're a vegetarian, they have a hummus option, which everyone knows hummus is chickpeas, which is really high in protein, really good for you. And is the hummus homemade, or?
We make it at the CNC, and each week it's made fresh. We offer 3 different varieties. There's 2 here. We also do a black bean hummus as well. And we've taste tested them with students and gotten their feedback on the flavor profile. So the students that do like hummus have tasted this and given their opinion on it.
So there's 3 different kinds that students are served. So this one is what is this one?
That's a white bean Tuscan hummus, and there's the traditional with the paprika hummus on our left.
So the paprika gives it that tint.
Yep.
Yep. And I noticed this lettuce because it looks a lot like the lettuce that I buy weekly from my local grocery store.
Yes, we're trying to improve all of the food, and this is a lettuce that's actually grown hydroponically in Massachusetts. So we're able to, in a partnership with Little Leaf Farms, we have a high quality lettuce that we're using in our salads that go out to the students every day. And it's a better product. People purchase it at local grocery stores, Whole Foods.
Yeah.
So we're really, and the students seem to like it better than something that's been shipped from California.
Right. Well, it gets to the plate so much quicker. It doesn't have to travel across country. And like I said, I buy this lettuce on a weekly basis. It's so crisp. It's really got a lot of flavor. It's a lot different than your everyday lettuce. And it's so wonderful that our kids get this.
Yeah, we've been really proud on the steps we've taken. The homemade muffins, we have blueberry muffins.
Let's
and,
talk about
sure.
the blueberry muffins, because I see we have one right here.
Yep.
Is a blueberry muffin, and it looks a little more blue than the blueberry muffins I usually see.
They're not a processed blueberry, they're just a fresh frozen blueberry from Maine that we utilize, and it tends to leach into the, and we don't use any additives, so it does look a little
So
blue.
because it's so fresh and so
Yep.
real, it
Right.
looks a little bit different than what we're used to finding
Yes.
in grocery stores and packages and things.
We don't add any preservatives, we bake them fresh, we package them and then send them out to the schools, so every day or every week the muffins are in the breakfast and the classroom program at every school.
And those are fresh blueberries that are locally grown?
Well, they're Maine blueberries that have been flash frozen.
Okay,
And
excellent,
those, yeah.
excellent. And we've got also some granola. This is an option for kids every day?
Yes, well, not every day. Our menu is on a 4-week cycle, but when we have a yogurt and granola option for the students, it's a local manufactured granola in Holyoke called Jeff's Granola, and we're able to ship that out to every school, and they actually, for however much we purchase with them, they actually donate money back to the school district for different charities.
Nice. So not only are we partnering with companies that are committed to healthy products that are locally grown, but it sounds like many of them are committed to giving back to the students that
Yeah,
they
it's a
provide
really
food
good
for.
story, and we're proud of the connection with these companies.
Excellent. And I see the Belvita breakfast bars, which I see in my grocery store all the time. 88 Acres is a really great brand. I see that in the stores all the time.
88 Acres is a great Massachusetts company that we've been partnering with, and that's an option in the school, the breakfast in the classroom. Belvita is not a local item, but it is a better product, and so we're utilizing that as and we had taste tests with students with different granola bars, and they really like this. I like it, my kids like it, so it's nice to offer that to the students.
The breakfast sandwich looks delicious, and we have some sandwiches here. Can we talk a little bit about the bread that students are eating?
Yeah, we just recently this fall made a connection with a bakery in New Haven, Connecticut called Chibasso Bakery, and they have very nice products that are in Big Y and Whole Foods, and this is made on a Chibasso ciabatta bread, and we also are doing a Power Berry fresh baked bread from them. It'd be a little out of our wheelhouse to make these, but these are great regional products that we're bringing to the students, and so far with the taste test, and students had them in December, we believe it's a big hit.
What is so impressive and exciting to me is the quality of the products and the companies that you have sought out to work with Springfield Public Schools. They are not, second class, or, these are name brand, high quality products. And I know you talked a little bit before about trying to reach out to other companies here in the city of Springfield that people may be familiar with.
Yes, we're reaching out and trying to create a partnership with Mia Tierra. They have a restaurant, I believe, in Hadley, but they also have a Springfield-based company for corn tortillas, and they utilize local Pioneer Valley grown corn, and they make fresh tortillas that we're hoping to have, if not in the spring, hopefully in the fall for the students. So it really makes a great connection. I grew up in Springfield, and most of our staff in the schools and at the center live in Springfield, and so when we're providing food that we would eat or feed our own kids, it's a nice feeling.
It is. It's a lot different from the school lunch that I was fed when I was in school, and a lot different from school lunches even just 5 years ago, even 2 years ago. We really created a brand new dynamic of what school lunches are.
Springfield, with the homegrown branding, has really focused on quality and breakfast in the classroom, and it's a great partnership for Sodexo and Springfield to be working on.
So if you'd like to know what your child is eating every day in school, it is available for you to find out on a new app that Springfield Public Schools and Sodexo has provided for parents. And we are going to hear a lot more about that in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. We will get a live demonstration on how to download the app and what it looks like so that you can see exactly what your students are putting in their bodies every day, from breakfast in the classroom, which happens in every single Springfield Public School every day, to lunch, and in some cases, dinner. Some schools have dinner programs for after-school activities. So really doing our best to give our kids great foods. And you're doing a great job. You have a huge job to find these companies and do all the background checks and then do all that paperwork and all of that to make it happen so that it ends up
on
like food on the plate. So,
exactly.
so let's eat.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Don't go anywhere. Abby Getman Skillicorn will be right with us. Thanks for sticking with us, and welcome back to SPS Spotlight. I am joined by Abby Getman Skillicorn, who works basically for all of our students. She is the person who makes sure students are engaged and have been engaged in the process of reimagining school lunch. So you've been working closely with students, what grade levels?
Yeah, I've been, thank you, Azell, for having me on.
You're welcome. Thanks for
excited
joining
to be
us.
here. I have the benefit of being able to work with all of our students K through 12. So right now, this year, I'm working with 15 of our schools, and that might look like a monthly taste test at some of our elementary schools or a focus group at some of our middle and high schools.
So when we talked with Andrew just now, we saw the different hummus choices that students might have. We saw the blueberry muffins. We didn't talk about the zucchini muffins, but there were some zucchini muffins there. Can you just tell us a little bit about your role and the students' role in figuring out what was going to be menu items?
Those are great questions. I would say a lot of it is listening. You know, I have the benefit of getting to share lunch at some of our different schools.
That
on
must be
any
such
day
a
of the
fun
week.
job.
So
I want to join you sometime.
I go sit around some click table at Putnam High School and say how's lunch today? What do you like? What do you not like? What would you like to see improved?
I'm sure they're very honest.
Yeah, very honest, and it's really refreshing because all of our students are so candid and really want. I mean, this is something that impacts their day every day. So they're really interested in being like, what we can change this,
right?
And while it takes some time, as we know, just having the center open since April, we have really different food options compared to this time last year. We have ramen bars, soup bars that started in December for all of our high schools last month. And having students that were actually able to make their own ramen soup, that was something that wasn't available to us last year. And being able to sit with students like, how do you like the broth? What about the noodles? Like the vegetables you're adding, that kind of thing is exciting.
Now that seems like something only for the higher levels, higher grades. The soup bars, the ramen, making your own sort of meal.
That was something that is only available to our high schools because of space as far as the service line. So we're still making scratch cooked soups like our loaded baked potato soup that students got last month, or our beef picadillo, which is a Cuban beef chili. And we taste tested. We weren't sure that would go off well at the elementary schools, but because we did the beef picadillo at 13 open houses at elementary schools this fall, students and parents alike were like, when is this on the menu? We have to have it. So that's now something that we actually are serving to students K through 12.
Please let me know the next Picadillo day. I will be at the school.
I'll be happy to.
Yes, okay. So we wanted to talk about families being able to figure out what is on the menu for their child on a daily basis. A lot of families may not even care. It's not even a piece of conversation. But for some families, it's very important for the parents or the guardians to know what their child is eating, whether it's health restrictions, whether they just want to make sure their child is eating well, or if they just want to say, what was for lunch, how did you like it?
Absolutely.
So there's a new easy way for parents to see that every day, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Yes, Meal Viewer. It's finally here. We are so excited to be offering Springfield Public Schools Meal Viewer apps, and so this actually integrates with every school kitchen. So any time there's a snow day, for example, and the paper menu might be bumped a couple of days, I know that the first week in December, we didn't have pizza for lunch on the Friday in the first week of December that a lot of students were upset about, but they were pretty excited because we still had breakfast for lunch, which is another popular lunch that we serve. So you'll know as a parent or staff or student, you can download the app and know exactly what's going to be served at your kitchen for breakfast or lunch on any given day.
So how do we access this app?
That's a great question. So you go to your app store. So for Apple users, which I am one of, I go to my app store and I download Meal Viewer to go. So I already downloaded it onto my phone, and we can see what Putnam is having for lunch next week. Next Wednesday, students are going to have the hummus with carrot, celery, tomato, and flatbread.
Exactly what we saw today.
Exactly what we saw today. We're also serving local Cape Cod battered fish. So that was fish caught off Cape Cod that was battered, and we'll be serving, as well as a bunch of other vegetables.
I have tasted that last time it was served. It is really delicious.
It is a solid fish and chip style battered fish.
Yes, it is. It's really good.
Thank you. Yeah, we were really proud of that, along with many of the other local things Andrew is bringing into the district. So I'm just scrolling through so you can see all of the different options. And what is exciting is that within Meal Viewer, you can star, as you can already see, you can star your favorite meal options. You can also
just jump right out at you, and that's the menu item for the day.
You can also get all of the allergen information, all of the nutritional information, and you can give your feedback as far as how you liked an item or not.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
These are all things that students and families can utilize when they download the app.
Excellent. Is there a few items, you mentioned the picadillo, but are there some items that the students just really love? Or are there too many to name? Or
I would say there are too many to name. Nachos are a perennial favorite, and I would say that we are really excited that we'll be making our own nacho cheese sauce from scratch out of the Culinary Center. So it has less preservatives. It is a real product that's made here in Springfield.
That's amazing. How many kids at home get nachos with homemade cheese sauce?
That's right.
Or fresh baked bread, fresh baked muffins. I know my son, who's a senior at Central High School, does not get that stuff at home. He gets all this fresh baked bread and fresh vegetables. We do get fresh vegetables at home, but just the cheeses and the sauces. And I know that even with the macaroni and cheese, the sauce is homemade from scratch at the Culinary Nutrition Center, part of Homegrown Springfield. So.
Absolutely. I would also say some of the pulled meats. So we're able to slow roast turkey and pulled pork. And serving a real pulled pork sandwich or a slider, that's been a really popular item so far this fall. The Sasson turkey, again, another pulled item that we're serving with different rice bowls.
With Sasson, cooked with Sasson?
Yes, it's a lower sodium, so it's still part of the USDA. It meets our USDA nutrition requirements, but it has a much more flavorful profile than
so many of us
our
cook
turkey
with that
from last year. Yeah, exactly.
So, excellent. So there's going to be information available in all of our schools for parents to easily find out how to access the Meal Viewer. It's pretty simple. You just get it from your local app store.
Yes. So for iPhone users, you'll use Meal Viewer to go, and for Android users, you'll search Meal Viewer and search. When you go into the search function, you'll search for Springfield MA. Don't search for your specific school just yet, because we have a lot of options, and it depends on if you call your school Elias Brooking School or Brooking School. So if you just search Springfield, it'll help you get to the right page.
Excellent. Well, we hope many parents and guardians take advantage of this opportunity that's been made available to you so that you can stay on top of your students' diet in school and also, of course, out of school, because all of that working together only makes for healthier students all around.
Thank you,
So,
Azell.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that you've gotten a little bit of inside information on what our students are eating every day at Springfield Public Schools, and we look forward to bringing you more exciting information about what's happening in the district in future episodes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Azell Cavaan, Chief Communications Officer for Springfield Public Schools. So this is the breakfast sandwich
Yes.
they get? I love eggs anyway. This is really good.
Wonderful.
Great.
That was great. Good work.